welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, thank you so much for stopping by. I'd so appreciate it if you guys would click that subscribe button down below so you guys will not miss any of my future videos. Otherwise, you can catch me outside. How about that? I hate that. Oh my god, it's so annoying, but I can't stop saying it, and then I bought a mug that says it. It's like, what? What is Earth right now? Anyway, today's video is probably one of the most requested videos that I've ever gotten on my channel, and that is what I do for a living. What is my job? What is my career? How do I earn a living? All of that is going to be answered in this video today. I'm going to go into detail, a little bit of a background, and I hope I answer all of your guys' questions. After this video is over, you still have questions, of course leave them down below, and I might even do a part 2 to this video if I get like an overwhelming amount of questions. So if you guys would like to learn just a little bit more about me and what I do for a living, then go ahead and keep watching. Okay, so I know I've mentioned it on my channel before, but in case you guys missed it or in case you are new here, I am in fact a teacher. More specifically, I teach special education for students who have moderate to severe disabilities, and it has to be hands down the best job in the entire world. I have so much fun. I'm cracking up on a daily basis. My students are the best, and overall, I'm just like, I couldn't have made a better career choice. Okay, so I think it's important that I give you guys just a little bit of background on me before I kind of dive into exactly what I do. So let me just start off by saying that high school was really, really rough. I hated, and I know hate is a very strong word, but I genuinely hated high school. I didn't do too well at first. I mean, D's and F's. The teachers, I swear they hated me. It's not like I was a bad student, I just was never there. I mean, let's get real. I really was never there. I was very, very smart. Like, I was on the principal's list. I was an honor roll student. I was very smart. I just hated school so much that I would ditch most of the time or just not show up. So that's kind of how my high school went. Suffered from a deep, deep like depression stage of my life during high school. It was just not pretty. Kind of got through that, and then I moved on to my local community college where I fell back into the same thing. I absolutely hated my community college. I would sign up for classes and pay for them. I wouldn't go. I'd fail classes. It was just not looking good for me at all. And I knew I always wanted to be a special education teacher because my mom was a special ed teacher, and I kind of grew up, you know, working in her classroom, volunteering, hanging out with her students, and I knew that's what I wanted, but I just really did not have my eyes on the prize. I didn't care. I'm one of those people that like will wait till the last minute to do everything. So I figured, you know, I'm only 18. I can do it, you know, next year. Next year came. Oh, I'll, you know, get my head in the game the next year. And it just kept going and kept going and kept going. So, not a fan of school. I would say I wasn't very good at school, although I was very smart. I just wasn't very good at like applying myself and keeping myself motivated. It was just wasn't looking good. So at this community college, I was 2 years in, and I thought to myself, you know what, it's time to get your head in the game. I looked myself in the mirror one day and I said, listen up, Nicole, you're gonna buck up and put your big girl panties on and build a future for yourself because it's ridiculous. So that's what I did. I decided to join the water polo team and the swim team. I grew up playing water polo and swimming, so it was nothing new to me. I made a bunch of friends. The team kind of keeps you accountable because you have to have a certain GPA, you have to go to study hall, you have to do this, you have to do that. So it really kind of got my head in the game. I got all the classes I needed because athletes get priority registration. So it was all looking good for me. I was getting A's, the occasional B. It was just looking really, really good for me. And because I was doing so well, it kind of kept me motivated to continue down that path. So I graduated from that community college with 2 AA degrees because I had been there for so damn long. It was unreal. I spent 4 years at that community college. I know. That's what happens when you screw up like I did. But I finally got out. I transferred, or I applied and got accepted into a 4-year university in my same city. And it was a school that I had always wanted to go to. I just never thought it was possible because of how badly I screwed up in high school and that first part of community college. So I was accepted and I was so excited because I was actually going to be doing coursework and volunteer work that actually had to do with what I wanted to be, which was a special education teacher. So that even motivated me even further, and it was just an all-around awesome experience. At that college, I was on the dean's list. I graduated. I think I was 1 out of 3 that graduated magna cum laude, which is like top of your class. So it was really exciting, and I just absolutely would never take that experience back for anything. Like, it was seriously the best time of my life. Like, my mom always said, you know, high school's the best time of your life, and I didn't believe her, and boy was she wrong, because it was the worst time of my life. But she also said, college is also gonna be the best time of your life. You're gonna wish that you could just stay in college the rest of your life, because once you start getting out in the real world and working, it is not fun. Well, sometimes it's not fun, but I really did have a good time in college. Would I ever want to be in college the rest of my life like she claimed? No way. Like, I right now am in the most perfect like spot in my life, and I'm just so happy, and I could not be any more happy. Anyway, getting off topic there, sorry. I ended up graduating from that university with my master's degree in education and a moderate to severe special education credential. In case you guys don't know, special education is kind of like on a like spectrum or like a continuum. You have your super high functioning kids who may have just like learning disabilities, and then you have super like low functioning kids, or the more like severe kids where like they may be in a wheelchair, they may be nonverbal. So it's kind of like a continuum or like a spectrum. I wanted the more like moderate to severe kids because that is kind of what my mom taught all growing up, and that's what I was familiar with. So that's what I was kind of aiming for. That is what I did. I got my credential in moderate to severe special education. So actually, when I had my bachelor's degree at that university, I was able to kind of pick what I wanted to do. Did I want to student teach, or did I want to intern? Student teaching was, you don't get paid, you're in somebody else's classroom kind of showing you the ropes. Interning was you actually apply at your local school district and you get a job as the teacher. You are the teacher and you kind of just figure it out. And that's what I wanted to do. I was very comfortable with that. Like I said, had so much volunteer work, so much experience that I knew I would be okay. So I applied and I got the job, and that is the same job that I have been in now for 2 years. Actually, February 10th was my 2-year anniversary being in the same exact position that I am in now. So I've been there 2 years. It feels like I've been there like 10 years, but it's seriously the best job in the entire world. Okay, so that was kind of a little background on that. So now we're gonna move into the current present day. What do I teach? What do I do? You wanna know the details, you wanna know the nitty gritty, so let's get into it. Actually, before I get into this, there's one more bit of background info that you guys will need in order to kind of understand what I teach. You know, in general education or like the normal like schooling system, you're educated until you're 18 or until you're a senior in high school. In special education, it's a little bit different. Students are actually able to be educated until 22 years old. So after high school, they're usually, 17, 18 years old. Then their next step is what's called the young adult program. And those are your students who are 18 to 22. Legally adults, yes, but it's still part of the local public school district, system. So that is actually what my mom teaches, and that is what she has taught for 24 years, 25 years. So pretty much ever since I was born. I mean, that's what I was around, and that's always what I've wanted to do. I love the little ones. They're so cute. They're so much work, but they are so fun. I love them too, but I've always wanted to teach for the young adult program. In my district, we have a pretty big district, but there's only 8 young adult program classes in my district, and 4 of them are something that I would even qualify to teach. 4 of them are the moderate to severe category. The other 4 are the more mild to moderate category of students, which are the higher functioning ones. Sometimes they have jobs, sometimes they drive. They just have, most of the time it's like a learning disability or like emotional disturbance issues. So out of the entire huge district, there's only 4 positions. And let me tell you that the young adult program is like a dream job. So I just kind of knew before I applied that there's no way like anybody would ever leave that position. So I was kind of open to teach whatever grade. So the year that I'm eligible to apply for my internship, what do you think opens up? A young adult program position in the moderate to severe category. I was over the moon. I was so excited, but still nervous because I still had to go for the interview and actually get the position. So in my mind, I'm thinking, I know another teacher who's been teaching for years is going to want to transfer into that position and they'll get first pick. You know what I'm saying? Here I am, fresh out of college, actually still in college because at that point I hadn't had my master's degree. So I'm like, there's no way they're going to pick me over somebody else. So I go for the interview. Guess who landed the job? This girl right here. So I'm thinking to myself, in the entire district, there are 4 moderate to severe young adult classes. I have one of them and my mom has one of them. How freaking weird is that? That I grew up volunteering in her class, fell in love with it, and now I'm not only teaching the same thing, but I'm like working for the same district and the same program she is. So think about it. All of our staff meetings are together. Whenever we go on like program like outings, we're together. Like, how weird is that? It's so cool to think about because if I ever have any problems or I have questions, I have somebody very, very close to me as like a mentor for me. So it's been awesome. I've been in that position for 2 years now, like I said, and it's just been great. A lot of people think like, oh, adults with disabilities, like I've met so many people that are scared of people with disabilities. Like, first of all, that just like blows my mind. Like, why would you be scared? Like, that doesn't even make sense. But my students are unlike anything you guys will ever meet. Anytime I have my family or my friends or just anybody that wants to visit my classroom, they come in and they instantly fall in love with my students and they don't even want to leave. Like, it is that much fun. My students are so funny. They're so witty. The stuff they say is just like beyond me. I have a quick story to tell you really quickly. I have one student, we will call him Bob. Bob, one day, I told him, it was the end of the day, I said, Bob, do you mind stacking all the chairs up on the table? Because the janitor comes in and, you know, mops. He's like, sure, Miss Nicole, no problem. So he's getting the chairs and he's stacking them up on the table and he is hilarious. Like, you guys would love him. So he's stacking the chairs and he's talking to himself while he's doing this. And he's like, yeah, don't mind me. It's just Bob stacking these chairs at the speed of, and before he could say like, all of the chairs come tumbling down, literally chairs go everywhere, and I turn and I look at him and he goes, well, I was gonna say the speed of light, but now that's gonna have to wait. And he gets up and he stacks all the chairs again nicely. It was just like, who thinks of stuff like that? Like, he's so funny. And that's like how all of my students are. I seriously have the best time every single day that I go to work. There's not one day that goes by where I'm not cracking up at something that some of my students have said. So, I mean, I just can't say enough good things about it. For those of you that follow me on Snapchat, you've probably gotten a little sneak peek of my classroom and my students because I'm always putting them on there. So if you guys would like to kind of get an inside peek at my students, or some of them at least, and kind of how my class is, then definitely follow me on Snapchat. I've gotten questions about exactly what do you teach? So because they are 18, we've kind of moved out of the strictly academics and more into the daily living skills, life skills, community safety skills. We do academics, but it's more like functional academics. So maybe the next larger dollar or the next dollar up strategy. So if you go to the store and the total's $3.52 and you have all $1 bills, how much money do you give the cashier? So academics that they're actually going to use, that are functional in their everyday lives. We do like job coaching type skills. So there's a grant given to our students that pays for them to have paid work experience. So our students will work in our local Petco or Marshalls and they get paid through us, through the grant, but they have a job coach there and it's kind of walking them through what it's like to have a job. We go over things like how to fill out a timesheet, proper, you know, things to do while at work, proper ways to spend your breaks. We go over so many different things. As far as like life skills and daily living skills, we'll show them, you know, folding towels, personal hygiene, hanging clothes, cooking. We do a wide variety of things. The purpose of our 4-year program is to get them job ready, to help them live more independent lives. You will not believe how many students I've had at the age of whatever it may be, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, where their parents still dress them. And I don't mean the parents pick out the clothes and hand it to them and they put it on themselves. No, 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 no. I'm saying the parents legitimately, okay, honey, step in. What? You are doing them such a disservice. Like, we are here to help them be more independent. Let them do it themselves. They're so capable of doing it. They might need guidance, they might need help, but that's what we're here for. And we're also here to kind of push that on the parents. I think a lot of times people think, oh, people with special needs, they need help doing this. You will not believe how independent they can be with the proper push. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what I teach. It's not the history and the math and the algebra and the integers. They don't need that for their everyday lives. They need the daily living skills, the community-based instruction, you know, how to appropriately sit through a movie. Do we stand up and have loud conversations in a movie theater? No. So just pretty much stuff like that. And it's so much fun. Another question that I was asked quite a bit, specifically it was asked right after I uploaded all of my outfits of the week videos, was how can you wear that stuff to work? Like, are you still a teacher? Like, how can you be a teacher and wear that? And it's not like I was wearing bum clothing or anything. Like, I was wearing, you know, my black skinny jeans and a nice top, or my black skinny jeans, a tank, a cardigan, and like some Converse or something. I'm able to wear more casual clothing than the typical like gen ed teacher because of the fact that my students are adults and we're out in the community every single day. That might mean I drive, that might mean we take the city bus, that might mean we walk. We're out in the community, we all have to be comfortable. I'm not saying dress like a bum, like I said, but I'm able to dress a little bit more casually. For those of you that are familiar with special education, you know each student is on an IEP, which is an individualized education plan, which is comprised of so many different like legal aspects. But just to make it very short, for those of you who are very unfamiliar, each student has a set of goals. Each student has services that are, you know, provided by the district, whether that be speech, whether that be physical therapy, whatever it may be. And, you know, the teacher, the staff, the students, the parents, who are all responsible for helping these students meet their goals. So once a year, the parents, my administration, myself, the student, we all sit in on a meeting called an IEP meeting, Individualized Education Plan meeting, and we review the entire IEP. What services they have, are they working for them? What goals do they have they met their goals? What can we do to like further help them meet their goals? And then we come up with a set of new goals for the next year. So for meetings like that, obviously, I'm not walking in the community while having the meeting. I'm going to dress a lot nicer than the typical day at work. So in short, anytime we have any meetings or I'm meeting with administration or parents, of course I'm gonna dress super nice and professionally because I'm not out in the community that day. So that answers that question. So I kind of wanted to give you guys a little visual of my classroom and the staff and my students and just kind of how it runs. Right now I have 11 students. Usually I have 14. That's the maximum amount you can really have is 14. Anything over that you can have, but the district is supposed to pay you extra for. So right now I have 11 students because I had 3 students exit my class in December. So once a student turns 22, they exit and they have a choice. They can either stay at home and really do nothing. They can go to an adult day program where they would be for the rest of their life. But I mean, of course, like if they don't like it, they can switch to a different program. There's so many different programs that cater to different things. So they can move on to one of those day programs. Or if they want to work, they can try to find a job and work, hopefully with the skills that we have taught them and with the practice they have gotten while in our program for the last 4 years. So that's kind of that. But right now, like I said, I have 11 students and I have in my class myself, I'm the teacher, obviously, and then I have 3 assists. So when you teach special education, you have paraprofessionals or assists or aides that pretty much help run the classroom. They are vital. They are so important. I could not run a classroom without them. One of my assists is actually a sign language interpreter because I do have a student who is deaf. So, but she's awesome. Absolutely love her. And then I actually have a volunteer grandparent. So for my district, we have a company that has grandparents that, you know, they go through all the background checks, the fingerprinting, all that, and they're able to come in and volunteer. So I have a volunteer grandparent that comes in every day. My students absolutely love her. We don't even call her by her name, we just call her grandma. So she's just also there to help out with anything that we need help with. My classroom is set up into 4 different large tables, and I have about 3 to 4 students at each table. Each staff member will kind of take a table and work with the students in that group depending on what we're working on. So my class runs pretty smoothly. I mean, I don't know if you guys would be even interested in like exactly like our daily schedule. I mean, I guess I can I can tell you what we do if you guys are interested in that. If not, you can fast forward through it. I don't know. But my day starts at 9. Staff has to be there at 8:45 though. We have to be there 15 minutes before school starts and stay 15 minutes after. So my hours are from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Well, technically 8:45 to 3:15. So once I get there, we place a personal information sheet on every single student's desk. And the personal information sheet is geared specifically towards them. So some of my students are working on learning their social security number. Some of my students are still working on learning how to write their name. Some of my students know all of that and they're working on, you know, their doctor's address, just a bunch of different information. So I created personalized personal information packets for each student. And they do that every single morning. As my mom says, repetition is the key to learning. If you do something once, I mean, you're not gonna learn it. You have to do it every single day or on a regular basis. In my case, we do it every single day with the students. So when they come in, they actually go to the lunchroom and get their breakfast. They'll bring it back, they'll eat their breakfast, and then they start in on their personal information sheets right away. Once they're done with their personal information sheets, we kind of break off into our little small groups. Well, we're actually already in our small groups, but that's when we'll work on them with whatever it is they need help with. We kind of, it's really based on what their goals are. So I think I have a goal for every single one of my students for money math. So some students are working on recognizing coins and how much each coin is worth. Some students are practicing giving change. It just depends on what the student is working on. So we'll kind of get into our small groups and work on stuff like that. Then the students have a break. After break, they come back into class and we work on our vocational/daily living tasks. So I have a whole wall with a bunch of like daily living and vocational tasks. I have activities where they can learn community safety signs. So, you know, what is a stop sign? What do we do when we see a stop sign? I have like pre-cooking activities. So learning how to measure ingredients, folding towels, hanging clothing, matching socks, and being able to, you know, roll them in how you do. Just a wide variety of things. The students are busy working on that. We even do like coupon cutting and learning how to find the expiration date, what is expired, what is still good, kind of organizing the coupons into categories. So we work on a variety of things like that. And we do that for 40 minutes, which goes by super quickly. And after that is over, then they go to lunch. And after lunch, they come back in and there's a half an hour in between lunch and like their PE time where they work on just miscellaneous work. After that is over, they go out to PE. During PE, my coworkers, my assists do PE with them while I get my prep period. So this is my time to prep work or plan out ideas or work on my IEPs or collaborate with other teachers. So I have like 55-ish minutes of that. And then they come back in from PE and they get their second break. And after their second break, we move into our classroom jobs. So I have a job board in my classroom. Every single student has a job at the end of the day. And it's all stuff that we worked on during that vocational daily living hour. So for example, one student has a job of wiping the tables. One student has sweeping. One student will have dusting. Another one will have, you know, shutting off the computers, cleaning the whiteboard, cleaning our kitchen area. We have a small little like kitchen area in our classroom. Nothing that great, let me tell you. But it's all stuff that, yes, it's helping us. It's helping the janitor save him time. But it's also things that's the point of them being in this program, is that we're teaching it, now they get to put that into practice. So it works out really well. And then after their jobs, we have the announcement time. It's like 5 to 10 minutes of any announcements I have, any comments the students may have, any concerns the students may have, any questions they may have. And then they get to go outside and go wait for the bus and go home. So that's kind of our day at a glance. A lot of fun. I do want to tweak a few things here and there, but that's the beauty of being a teacher, is you try stuff out. If it doesn't work, you get to tweak it, or you get to completely change it. That's the beauty of it. So right now it's working out well. There are just a few things I think I want to tweak, but I mean, that's another video for another day. So I really think that that is it. If you guys have any further questions, please leave them down below for me. And I appreciate you guys watching and learning a little bit about me and my job. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Snapchat, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.